Hey family, Precious here. Let's start with a question. Have you ever felt like your emotions are switched off, or you're just blank inside? That's not just being in a funk, it could be alexithymia. Now, alexithymia is a psychological term that basically means no words for emotions. Imagine trying to describe a color you've never seen. That's what trying to name your feelings can feel like if you have alexithymia. It's not about being cold or uncaring, it's about a literal disconnect in your emotional processing. You might be thinking, wait, isn't this just being dramatic or distant? Actually, no, this isn't something people choose. It's more like having a mental traffic jam. Emotions are there, but they get stuck before reaching your conscious mind. Let me tell you a story. A listener once wrote to me, saying she often cried, but had no idea why. She thought something was wrong with her. But here's the truth, she's not broken. Her brain just learned to shield her from overwhelming feelings. So if you've ever felt emotionally numb or struggled to explain what's going on inside, you're not alone, and no, you're not broken. Let's dig into where this comes from and what it really means. Now, why do some of us struggle with alexithymia? Here's where it gets interesting. For many, it traces back to childhood environments or neurological wiring. Trauma, especially from emotionally unsafe households, can literally rewire your brain to numb out feelings for self-protection. Think of it like a circuit breaker. If your home was a place where emotions got you punished or ignored, your mind flips the switch to off because that's safer. That's a classic defense mechanism. But it's not just trauma. Alexithymia often appears alongside other conditions like PTSD, depression, and autism spectrum disorder, a phenomenon known as comorbidity. That means it's not always a standalone issue, but part of a bigger picture. Now you might be thinking, does this mean I'll never feel anything again? Absolutely not. The brain is adaptable thanks to something called neuroplasticity, which is its ability to rewire over time. So whether your numbness is rooted in survival strategies, neurodivergence, or life events, there is hope. Healing starts with understanding, and that's what we're doing right now. Let's get practical. How do you know if you're experiencing alexithymia and not just a passing bad mood? Here's the setup. Imagine you're upset, your body is tense, but when someone asks, "What's wrong?" your mind goes totally blank. That's a classic sign. Or maybe you've had those moments stares out of nowhere, snapping at someone for no clear reason, only to look back and realize, I have no clue why I reacted like that. Sound familiar? That's emotional disconnect at work. Alexithymia isn't about lacking emotions. It's about missing the bridge between what your body feels like, tightness in the chest, butterflies in your stomach, and what your mind can name. Think of it like your internal Wi-Fi is down, the signals can't get through. And here's a tough question. What does emotional numbness feel like for you? Is it emptiness, detachment, or maybe just nothingness? Reflecting on these sensations is the first step toward awareness. So, next time you notice a blank or confusing emotional state, pause. Ask yourself, is this just a mood, or could it be alexithymia at play? Recognizing the pattern is half the battle. Alright, let's talk solutions. If you're feeling emotionally numb, what can you do about it? Here's where we move from conflict to resolution. First, start with your body. That's right, emotions aren't just thoughts, they're physical sensations too. Try scanning yourself. Is there tension in your shoulders, a heaviness in your chest, maybe a knot in your stomach? That's your body sending you emotional data. Second, use a tool like a feelings wheel. Most of us use just a few words, happy, sad, angry, but emotions are layered, like an onion. Maybe what you call anger is really embarrassment or feeling disrespected. The more specific your vocabulary, the more power you have. Third, journaling. Even if you can't name your feelings, write down what happened, how your body reacted, and any thoughts that popped up. Over time, this practice builds your emotional literacy. Imagine it like training a mental muscle. And final, therapy can be a game changer. Especially trauma-informed or somatic therapists, or those who work with neurodivergent folks. They can help you notice and decode what you've learned to ignore. Healing isn't about becoming emotional overnight, it's about rebuilding the bridge between your mind and your feelings. gently and patiently. So, here's the bottom line. You are not too far gone, and you're definitely not broken. Emotional numbness is a defense, not a defect. Your emotions are still there, waiting beneath layers of survival strategies and old wiring. Healing is possible, but it's a gradual process, like tuning a radio to the right frequency until you finally hear the music again. Now, maybe you're thinking, but what if I never change? Let me tell you a story. I've seen people who thought they'd never feel again start to reconnect bit by bit using these tools. The first step was always self-compassion, not shame. So if anything resonated with you today, I want you to try this. Leave a comment, even if it's just, "I'm learning how to feel again." You deserve to know your own emotions, to feel safe with yourself, and to heal fully. Take a little time today to check in with yourself. Your healing journey matters. Thanks for joining me on Talk with Precious. Until next time, keep learning, keep feeling, and remember, you are worthy of healing.
Just a gentle reminder to take a little time today to chat about your mental health. I can't wait to continue our talk in the next video.
Bye!